The rules for Warhammer 40k 8th edition aren't even out yet. We've seen snippets, we've seen a lot of discussion on the Warhammer community page, and we see, of course there's talk and chatter on the internet, but a lot of this has already been pointing to how should we restrict things for tournaments? How are we going to make this fair for tournaments and matched play, as the rulebook is going to refer to it? And my sincere opinion is that, like mentioned in the last video, that a lot of this, the way the game is designed now, takes into account match play and everyone coming to the design phase, bringing what should be balanced armies to the table. Now, there's obviously going to be efficiencies in different things and combos that people can rely on in different armies, but until we actually get our hands on it, I don't think anyone's going to know how that all factors in, because I know we have fewer pages of rules, but there's a lot of nuances within that, and then plus the extra complexity of the individual data sheets. To call for any type of restrictions at this point, I think is extremely premature. And this is coming from the perspective of a tournament player. I think that the limiting factors are going to be the things we've talked about already. The fact that characters can't join units. They can be powerhouses on their own, but we're going to see them as operating in support capacities and combinations of other units. And so the way that we approach the game is going to be way different than it was before. We can't really go into this with our 7th edition mindset of automatically knowing how powerful something's going to be, because look, we had the experience of the entire edition to draw from. We could see things kind of coming from a mile away, but this game has all different things. This is the big things different in this game, is characters not joining units, units having rules specific to them on the data slates, deep striking, things like that working much differently, things like fleet. Again, with the abandonment of the universal special rules, there is a bunch of this stuff that we can't just take for granted that we know. My advice to anyone out there getting ready, stores are going to have copies as early as this Saturday coming up, June 3rd. They may even have them already. So take a look at the stuff in the store, make your pre-orders and stuff on based on that. Again, I love the speculation. You guys just follow me on Twitter. I've already been building Death Company and Sanguinary Guard just in the hopes I get to use them. But the overall feel and the way the game plays is going to be different on so many fundamental levels. This is not the time to be looking at what we should not allow. This is the time to embrace it all and to really get our hands on playing the game. Look for some content, some how-tos and stuff more coming this week. As again, by the time you hear the podcast coming out this week, we'll have already had the game in our hands. We'll have already played some games, some test games, and really given it, put it through the paces, at least with some of those units that we wanted to play that weren't playable before. I admit it, some of these things just weren't playable. You weren't going to see them. They were cool, but you didn't see them. Death Company, Sanguinary Guard, like I mentioned, Stompas, Gorkanauts, Morganauts, the list goes on to just things that you just dismissed out of hand because they did not have a place in competitive 7th edition. That is going to radically, fundamentally change in this coming up in this 7th edition. There are going to be things in context that work better, that are more playable than others. We know that, but I think the approach to the game is something that we need to change our minds going right out of the gate with it. I know this is a short video and we don't have too much to really sink our teeth into right now, but as this week develops, there's going to be a lot more. I cannot wait to talk about it. Cannot wait to really diagnose it and get some other perspectives on the main show, the hour-long show this week. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I think the takeaway from this video is don't freak out. We have stuff coming, and it's going to make everything more fun and stuff just more usable than it has been in years. I'm getting 3rd edition models that I took the 3rd edition, 4th edition tournaments. I am taking off the shelf, and I'm going to find a use for in this edition of the game. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Please comment and subscribe. I can't wait to hear your thoughts.